Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about pagans and witches. Now, part of it is why I'm making this video is there are a lot of very negative and very inaccurate stereotypes about them. And so a lot of them have written things and done vlogging trying to basically commenting on all these misconceptions. However, I think a lot of the Christians who have listened to these sort of misconceptions and taken part in sort of telling these misconceptions to people might be more open to hearing these comments from a fellow Christian. Now, there are a lot of where to begin on all these misconceptions. Witchcraft is not devil worship. They don't even believe in the devil. And that's like the first thing that just about all of them will say. What witchcraft, it also doesn't seem to be like magically turning people into goats or things like that. Basically, what a lot of it seems to be is prayer. Basically, they're doing these sort of things, these rituals. Basically, what casting spells basically seems to be is basically doing things, basically asking for something beyond to intervene or to help out. And that seems a lot like prayer to me. So some of the other things, killing babies. Not that I know of. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know of any pagans and witches who have killed babies. Maybe in like sometime BC, but Christians have done a lot more killing in the past 2,000 years than pagans and witches ever could. And most of them are very loving and compassionate, and several of them are vegetarians and see the importance of life, of others living. What other things? There's like the Wiccan Creed, and ye harm none, do what ye will. So that does not. Killing is harm. So they believe in harming none. So other things. Now, I also want to comment. I think I might have commented on this before in this video, but pagans and witches have been ridiculed and tormented thanks to my fellow Christians. I've been very heavily oppressed thanks to my fellow Christians. And of all the pagans that I've encountered and have had interactions with, they've still embraced my existence and embraced that I have my Christian faith and have accepted me as a fellow human being with open arms, open minds, and open hearts. They have been the most loving and compassionate people that I've met, some of them at least. And yeah, another thing is that I'm co-administrator for a Facebook page called Christians Tired of Being Misrepresented. There have been quite a few times where we've been ridiculed by non-Christians, and most of the pagan members of our page have been very supportive of us and have basically stood up for us when we've been attacked by people. So thank you, pagans. it's wonderful for me knowing that there are pagans who are not just accepting of Christians, but are willing to embrace Christians. And I think there was someone who once said there's one religion but many different versions of it. I definitely feel that Christianity and paganism are not that different. And things like there are other things that might give them a negative image, like worshiping in the nude. And a lot of people will think that that's a sexual thing. For them, it's very much when we're naked, we're in our most natural form. We're not covered up. We're in basically our purest form, and things like that. Not all witch covens do that. But some do. But primarily, it's very based off of nature. It's very nature-based. There's a love for nature that I think Christians can look at from them and learn from them. I think that a lot of Christians have basically been ignorant of nature and have basically continued polluting and causing harm to our planet. I think pagans are really good with taking care of the planet and being a part of nature, which is, I think, something that we as Christians can learn from them. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of Bible reading. This is I'm gonna first read a part of the Bible to kind of set up the context of the other part of the Bible I'm gonna read. But this is Second Kings, chapter 17. I'm gonna first read verse 29. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own, and put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. I'm going to skip down to verse 32. So they feared the Lord, and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Lord, and served their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence. Unto this day they do after the former manners. They fear not the Lord, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel. So basically, what we get there in Kings is the Samaritans are people who are worshiping and looking at false gods and such, which is something that many people have accused pagans of. However, I'm now going to read something from Jesus. Gospel of Luke, chapter 11, I'm going to start at verse 25. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto them, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor? And Jesus answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, These are the people who went after false gods. The Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him, and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that showed mercy on him. Then said Jesus unto him, Go and do thou likewise. The point of that story was that this was a Samaritan. I mean, if we told the story today, it could possibly be the parable of the good pagan, or the good witch, or the good anything that's not Christian, really. But overall, I want to basically say it is up to us as Christians to embrace our differences with people of other faiths, with Samaritans. Those who do otherwise could easily be called Pharisees. And it is our job to be loving and compassionate to all. And to stand up for the oppressed. I know that just about every pagan I've interacted with has been very open-hearted and has been very loving. I think we as Christians should do the same. Thank you for watching. Shalom.